going to be working on our stars and stripe piece. And this is the actually 2.5 inch round. This is a little bit bigger than our 2-inch round because it gives us a little bit more working room. And we're going to put the wax on first. And I'm going to be using my stipple brushes on this part. And we're going to be doing not quite half of the gourd. No, I've got that one almost. Well, maybe we'll come down a little bit further because we've got to get our fireworks and everything. But you also want it to have room to come down a little bit. So I'm not quite going half, but pretty close. And I'm warming up my stipple brush in the wax and getting that nice and warm. And then I'm just going to come and apply that right across. And just bring that right across the top. And one more time there. Okay. And then we're going to put the stripes in it. And I'm going to do the white first because the white will pick up the red if the red is already there. So we're going to put that on first. And I'm going to do down the middle, and I'm just doing it as wide as my brush is, and down the sides, and one more time. And I think I'm going to go ahead and give the white a second layer, just so it doesn't go thin on us. Okay, and now let's get our red warmed up. And we're just going to fill that in. And I'm going to warm up my tool, and I'm going to use just a number 0 tool, the large end, and get that in my wax and warm that up while we're doing our red stripes. So we're going to come up here and put our red in. And if you wanted glitter colors in these, you could use the red glitter crayons. And those have the glitter in them. And they've got a red and 2 whites with glitter in them, in fact, as well. So you have that option. So we're going to let this cool a little bit, and then we're going to start to warm it. The reason we're going to let it all cool is you want it all the same melting point. So like right now, the red would melt faster than the other colors, and you don't want that to happen. And then once we get that warmed, we're going to come over here from the side and put in our firework up on top with our tool while this is warm. That way it looks like it is exploding into the sky. Excuse me. So let's take it on over and let's go ahead and start warming that up. On a big piece like that, you always want to start on the outside first and work your way towards the middle, because the middle is easy to warm up. And so by walking it on the outside first, and when you get to the middle, the last, it goes really, really fast. And I've got my gun way up high, my heat gun, and I may even have to pull it down just a little bit lower, we'll see. But that's because we don't want it to move a lot. Now on this piece, what I kind of did is I kind of ran it down a little bit from the top, just a little bit, not much. You can see it just a little bit. And another thing you can do is, if you don't want to risk that, just move your glue down a little bit with your tool. And that way it won't run too much on you. Now we're going to leave that guy going there, and we're going to come in, and I'm going to put my 4th of July. Now when it's really, really warm, it expands out even more. Now you can see it's not quite expanding as much, and I don't want it to as the first one. We just want to kind of give it a little little bit there. So it looks like the fireworks are going off in the sky. I'm going to come in with my Prisma glitter, and we're going to, especially on that area, hit the firework. So it looks like it's got some fireworks going off on it. And I got a little fleck of something. Not quite sure what that is. See if we can get it out. And we're going to hit that just a little bit again. Now that kind of moved around on me a little bit, so I'm going to heat that up and just try putting that in just a little bit more. Not too much. Just redefining it. It kind of moved around even after we had let it cool a bit there. And the more you let it cool before you do this, the less it's going to move around on you. So let it cool a little bit more if you want more extinction of the fireworks. And you can see I'm just keep coming back in there. Just doing that till I get it where I want. Silver is also a really other good one to use for fireworks. And I'm going to put some more glitter back on top of that. And then I want to come in this area and try not to heat that and put my octagon silver glitter. And I like this. It kind of makes it look like bigger fireworks in the background. It's a lot bigger glitter. So we're going to do that. And sometimes if you have an area that you don't want real warm, if you put your hands over it or put something over it just a little bit, it kind of protects that. Just get that set down. There we go. All right. And if you don't like the way these bottom guys turned out, let's work on them just a tad. They kind of came to a point. Once the color's heated up, you don't want that wax cold where it looks like you're taking a chunk out. You want it movable. You can kind of move it back around. Now we've got some bigger stripes back there. I like that better. That's much nicer. Okay, we're going to let that cool, and then we will put our finish over the top. I've got one little area that I've still got to heat up. I took a chunk out of. Okay, so we've got that nice and even. So we're going to let that cool down for a minute. And I'm going to talk to you about the stars. Now there's all types of different stars, but I wanted some bigger stars. There's little small glitter stars, which you can use. Martha Stewart has some out and some different ones like that. But these are actually brads. And brads are a whole new thing now. And I use a lot of brads in my artwork. They're just shapes and designs that I really, really like. And at Christmas time, they have a whole bunch of neat ones as well. So what I do is I just completely take the backs and cut these off. And I apply these after you are done with your finish on top. And I would put an odd number on. I would put 1, 2, and 3 on this piece right here. And glue them on with E6000 after you have your finished is completely dry, nice and ready to go, and then let your E6000, and your E6000 is a great glue. It's a real hard glue. It keeps rock to rock, stone to stone, anything like that attached. But when you put them on, you want enough glue that it doesn't come through the edges, but also push it really tight so that the glue or the star does not get caught when it's being worn on something else. So you want to kind of do that. The reason we don't want to put it under the finish is you want that nice shiny glittery finish on top, and that will keep that. So look at the difference between the one that is not finished yet and the other one, and how much brighter it is and how much nicer it looks. So we're going to take our hobby knife and we're going to remove the wax on the edges, and we're not going to put the finish on top of this, so it's real important to remove the wax. If you've got any on the back, do that as well, so that none of the wax would melt on the sides after you've completed your necklace. The stains are okay, it's just the wax we've done now. Once you've got that removed, we're going to do one more thing, and that is we're going to come around the edges and we're going to come up just a tad on that very edge. And what we're doing is we're trying to create a little area that the finish can come over to the gourd piece and make a nice seal on. So we're going to remove all of our wax. Make sure you don't have any of that left. You don't want pieces where it doesn't belong. And we're going to put our finish on with the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. It's real important that it's the Dimensional Magic, not just Mod Podge. This is a nice hard finish. This is made for the jewelry that has the real glass look. So it's made to go on nice and thick and be really hard. So that is the reason we like it. Unfortunately, because gourds aren't really flat, we can't put it all in one time. We're going to put it on with a brush, and that's just kind of to move it around. But we want to put at least 3 to 5 coats on, good thick coats. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go around just a little bit on the outside here, and not enough to let it run off the edge. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to go over the edge and help create that seal all the way around that gourd. I probably could do a little bit more here. So you want to make sure you get that nice seal all the way around there. And I got something else on my brush. Now, it's better to have too much than not enough on this. So we're going to come back here, we're going to put a nice layer on there. And we're going to use our brush to kind of just come along the top of it and move it around. You're not really coming in like a brush, you're just kind of evening it out. And what you'll see is it kind of settle down a little bit and kind of gel. If you can see your brush strokes, you need to add some more. And make sure you get those edges nice and good as well. And you don't want it so thick that it's falling off the edges. If you do, catch it on the edges. And then remember to come in and put a couple more coats on that. If you have any bubbles, make sure you pop them. But don't ever shake your Dimensional Magic, because then you will create bubbles. Okay, we're going to apply our other coats to that and let that dry. And then we're going to come back and finish up our necklace.